Hi, I'm Simon from Sailing Britican. Today we're going to tell you about our CopperCoat nightmare. Oh dear, it's terrible.
In 2016, we got lifted out at Bennett Brothers up the Cape Fear River in North Carolina. At the time of lift out, we had normal ablative blue anti-foul paint that we personally applied while in Greece during the summer of 2015. After seeing CopperCoat on the same boat as ours, an Oyster 56, in the Mediterranean and in the Caribbean, and seeing the hull completely rid of any growth, we were excited about the product. We were informed by the manufacturer and Bennett Brothers that CopperCoat lasts 8 to 10 years. Considering that a circumnavigation was on the cards, it would be much easier if we didn't have to haul out every couple years to get our hull repainted. At the time, we had no idea that CopperCoat seems to work for some boats and not others, and in some areas and not others. Furthermore, we didn't realize that it was possible for the application to go wrong. More about that as we progress. While at Bennett Brothers, our anti-foul was taken off and the hull was stripped back to the fiberglass hull. The required amount of CopperCoat was applied and we were excited to get Britican back in the water.
We're here at Bennett Brothers and she's just about to go back in the water.
Simon, my brother, and our friend Ryan sailed the boat down to Charleston, South Carolina, where we planned to stay for 6 months over the hurricane season. Simon, Sienna, and I then took a break from sailing but not the boat. We were liveaboards at the Charleston Harbor Marina while our daughter went to first grade for a year, and I could spend some time with my parents, my brother, and his family. It'd been 20 years since I lived in America, so I wanted to spend time with family while we were in their neck of the world. Not too long after our arrival, Hurricane Matthew arrived. We decided to take our boat out of the marina and go up a river as far as we could to get away from the coast and provide Britican with as much protection as we could. Right after we started up the river, we overheated. Long story short, unbeknown to us, our hull and intakes were full of barnacles. As you can imagine, we were already stressed about a hurricane coming, but then to find out that our hull and intakes were full of barnacles, it made us very anxious. We managed to ride the tide up the river and keep low revs on the engine so not to overheat. After the hurricane, we went back to the marina and had a diver look at our hull. He told us it was covered with millions of barnacles.
And the diver came up and says, "It's just barnacles all over."
After talking to various sources, we discovered that the water in Charleston is super high growth, and the reason for the barnacles came down to the fact that we just weren't moving. We then had to pay a diver every 2 months to clean the hull and through hull fittings. We complained to both Bennett Brothers and CopperCoat, saying that we didn't expect a hull full of barnacles. Bennett Brothers said it was the manufacturer's issue, and CopperCoat blamed the boatyard. We felt like no one cared about the fact that we paid over $15,000 for something that clearly wasn't working. After several conversations and publishing a YouTube video about the treatment we were receiving, both companies miraculously agreed to pay for us to be hauled out to inspect the hull and fix any issues if there were any. Upon inspection, the USA representative for CopperCoat went around our boat drawing areas where the CopperCoat was either not sanded down well enough or not applied correctly. He told us that the boatyard did not do a very good job with the application. Bennett Brothers sent down representatives that followed Jim from CopperCoat's instructions, and Simon and I hoped for the best. We were put back in the water with our patch job and left America for the Caribbean in December 2017. Unbelievably, all of our patch jobs seemed to have been working. They were clean and clear of barnacles, but the rest of the hull was full of barnacles. We sent an email to Jim at CopperCoat USA, who then made us feel like the whole issue was somehow our fault. Something had clearly worked. We questioned why the whole boat wasn't redone, and Jim told us we needed to scour the bottom of the boat with a scouring brush or pad. So Simon got a brush and tried even sandpaper. In the back of our minds, we kept thinking why Jim didn't just instruct the boatyard to redo the whole boat. Trying to get positive or helpful support from Jim ended, so we sent the footage of our hull to CopperCoat UK. After CopperCoat UK saw the footage, they said they'd send us enough CopperCoat to redo the entire boat, but they wouldn't cover the cost of our labor. They told us we'd have to ask Jim to cover those costs. We then asked Jim at CopperCoat USA to cover our labor costs of $3,000 US, and were told no. Jim actually hung up the phone on Simon. From thereafter, Simon had to call CopperCoat UK to communicate with Jim at CopperCoat USA to arrange for the CopperCoat to be sent down to Trinidad. So here's what our haul looked like after sailing from Charleston all the way down to Trinidad, the bottom of the Caribbean.
Since we've been in this really dirty water, it's got rid of a lot of the green crap. But this is very rough, and this is the patch, and this is just lovely and smooth. Well, this is just rough as anything. It just wasn't done properly.
So these are all barnacles here.
All barnacles, look.
Okay, so there's all barnacles here.
But then this is a patch,
and
it's beautiful and smooth.
That's the new patch that's been done. So everything outside of the patch that's been done has got barnacles all over it.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. And here's the patch that was redone, and there's nothing on it, and then we've got barnacles all around the other patches.
Yeah, that's smooth as anything.
That's smooth, and everything else is rough.
That's rough, that's like sandpaper.
So there's a patch that was done last time, and you can see that there's no growth on that, but there's growth all around it. And there's another patch that was redone and the growth all around it. And then here's a patch. The lighting's a bit hard, but as you can see, there's no growth on that, but then there's barnacles all around it. So this has got barnacles on it.
Barnacles everywhere.
There are barnacles everywhere.
And it's not on any green stuff.
No, it's not growing on growth, right?
No, it's not growing on growth because I was under here for 4.5 hours.
So the barnacles are growing on the hull. They're not growing on like green growth. You can see them. They don't come off either. I mean, I can't get that off.
Yeah, careful your finger.
But it's not coming off. It breaks before it comes off.
This is the prop. It's got no protection on it. And it's got less growth on an unprotected.
So why is this so smooth and then that so rough?
Because when they applied it originally, they didn't do it correctly. And then this time they did it correctly. But what's frustrating is they should have done the whole boat again.
Yeah, I agree. So that's inside the bow thruster. The Boatyard Peaks in Trinidad is a well-known boatyard and has many satisfied customers. Peaks was very professional and explained that they've done CopperCoat and they fully understood the manufacturer's requirements for application. So we had another full application of CopperCoat over the entire hull and sanded to the specifications required. Britican was put back in the water in September 2018, and November, a couple months later, Simon went down to check the hull.
Okay, Simon this morning is getting all suited and booted, but in a different kind of way, and he's going to go for a little dive.
On the anodes, check on everything down there, through holes, just check everything and have a little scrub. Because here there's quite a lot of life, and we just got a little coating of bit of green growth, so it just wipes off really easy with just a little light pad.
My dad is under the boat, so just in case you come over, he's having a scuba tank right now, and he's going under the boat, scraping it. Okay, I'll watch out for that. See you soon. Britican going to 6-8.
So, Simon just come out the water there now. Was it successful?
Well, successful that I went down,
Yeah.
but there's barnacles everywhere.
Is there?
Yeah, big barnacles everywhere. Not everywhere, but I must have taken off 100 to 150 barnacles off there, and it's just covered. Ironically, when we put the boat back in, we had to paint part of the bottom of the keel with normal ablative paint.
Right.
I believe it was Island 44. That's clean. Over the CopperCoat is a sheen of little bit of like growth, but they say that happened, and it was easy to wipe off. But on the bottom of the where the ablative paint is, it's clean as anything. No barnacles, no nothing. But we spent a hell of a lot of money. We've put 2 lots of CopperCoat on, and I'm not happy. I'll never ever put it back on.
See, yeah, I agree with you there, because we did the same on my boat at home, and I think it's just a lot of money, a lot of waste of time. But so I'm agree with you on that one, totally.
Yeah.
Here's our GoPro footage in January 2019. In April 2019, we decided to do the Oyster Antigua Regatta and have our boat hauled out for a surveyor inspection. We've coded our boat to take paying guests, and Antigua was a good place to get the inspection done. While having the boat out in Antigua, we inquired if the boatyard had any experience with CopperCoat, and they explained they'd done several applications. Considering that Antigua is one of the largest boating islands in the chain, we thought that perhaps they might be able to get the product to work. We didn't have any more product applied. We had a team of guys sand the CopperCoat down, once again, abiding to the CopperCoat recommended specifications. Previous to the race, Simon cleaned off as many barnacles as possible, but this is the footage I took when the boat was out of the water. All those white spots are the remnants of barnacles. Since we've been publishing all of our issues with CopperCoat, we've received loads of emails and comments on our blog as to people having the same or similar issues. We've also received notification from people that it's working fine for them. We know that the product works as we've seen it work. It's been on the same boat that we have in the same water that we've been in. So what's the issue? What do we want? We want someone or a team from CopperCoat to fly out to our boat, have it hauled out, and for them to once and for all demonstrate that their product works by applying it themselves. Either that, or we want our money back that we paid for the product, the applications, and all these haul-outs. We struggled for 3 years and have paid out well over $20,000 for a product that doesn't work. Subscribe now to find out how this story ends.
Well, thanks for watching. If you want any more information, we've got 3 years of details on CopperCoat. Visit our website, sailingbritican.com, and please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.